Hey friends, it's Thor Cow, and it's this week on Blu-ray and DVD. Now, I was off last week, so what I did was combined a couple of the releases from last week into this one, and what you're left with is a cavalcade of wonderful films and a television show to tell you about. We'll start with my favorite film of 2014, Whiplash, with Miles Teller and J.K. Simmons. This actually won 3 Academy Awards, including Best Supporting Actor for J.K. Simmons, as well as Best Sound Mixing and Best Editing. Get a load of Whiplash.
Here we go. 5, 6, and. Were you rushing or were you dragging?
I don't know.
If you deliberately sabotage my band, I will gut you like a pig.
Oh, my dear God. Are you one of those single-tier people?
You are a worthless pansy ass who is now weeping and slobbering all over my drum set like a 9-year-old girl.
Oh, incredible film here. Miles Teller, for one thing, does all the drumming, and Damien Chazelle, the director, this is only his second feature, and it's based on a short film that he did a few years ago. This is the expanded version. It was a role catered and written specifically for J.K. Simmons as this ferocious music teacher, pushing Miles Teller, an aspiring young musician, to be the best that he can be. It's borderline abusive at times. There's a lot of colorful language. The message that it sends isn't always the most responsible one, but regardless of all of that, the most entertaining film of the year, and I thought so well edited, script that will just keep you sort of engaged the whole way through, beautifully shot and acted so well from Teller and Simmons, just a true delight, and the last 10 minutes will make you want to get up and cheer. I love this one. I dare say it was a masterpiece. So Whiplash, check it out. My favorite film of 2014, one of the best of the year. Don't miss it right now on Blu-ray and DVD. Okay, let's keep it going now. Katniss is back in The Hunger Games, Mockingjay Part 1. They went ahead and took the third book and split it into 2 movies, and rightly so, because there's so much to cover. So you can catch Part 2 coming in theaters this November, but you might want to get up to speed right now with Part 1 on Blu-ray. Take a look.
I never wanted any of this. I never wanted to be in the games. I just wanted to save my sister and keep Peeta alive.
Miss Everdeen, it's the things we love most that destroy us.
Oh yeah, now this one didn't quite have the action or the tension of Catching Fire, mainly because they dispensed with the whole games aspect and really went for more of a wag the dog sort of scenario. So this one, you're starting to see the revolution happen a lot more. There's way more at stake. Things are getting very grim, very serious. But I liked the sort of angle that Natalie Dormer from Game of Thrones took, where she plays this videographer and has to go along with Katniss and this film crew and essentially shoot sort of propaganda pieces. I like those kind of themes that they're touching on very well in the films, and that to me is what the strong point of the Hunger Games is. And don't forget, you can catch one of the final roles from Philip Seymour Hoffman in this one. A great cast. They continue to up the ante with this series, and I really enjoyed Mockingjay Part 1, despite its lack of action. Although you do see it in the trailers, it's few and far between. That means, though, they're setting up for a adrenaline-fueled finale with Part 2, as I say, coming to theaters in November. Okay, next, the Oscar parade continues. Foxcatcher. This was also nominated for a couple of Oscars, notably Mark Ruffalo for Best Supporting Actor. This is the true story of the gold medal dual roles shared by the 2 wrestlers at the center of this story, and it tells the acclaimed story of Mark and David Schultz, and who got invited by eccentric multimillionaire John DuPont, played by Steve Carell, to get them prepared for the 1988 Seoul Olympics. Take a look.
Do you have any idea who I am? Some rich guy calls you on the phone. I wanted to speak with you about what you hope to achieve. What do you hope to achieve, Mark?
I want to be the best in the world.
Good.
Key for you.
Just a chilling performance there. I can't even believe that Steve Carell under some heavy prosthetics there. This was nominated for 5 Academy Awards, including Best Director, Best Actor with Steve Carell, and Best Supporting Actor. Mark Ruffalo, small role in this one, but very good. He really brings the heart. And Channing Tatum legitimizes himself as a dramatic actor here, really grounding the performance. This won the Cannes Film Fest for Best Director and the Special Distinction Award of 2015 at the Film Independent Spirit Awards. It is a slow burn, this movie. It's a lot of dialogue. There's not a lot of action per se. And and it's over 2 hours long. But the way Bennett Miller decides to direct it and shoot it is gripping, provocative. It's got a wonderful script and powerful, compelling performances. So if you like a bit of a slow burn and a wonderful character study that doesn't necessarily answer all of its questions, Foxcatcher is for you. And yes, Vanessa Redgrave in a very sort of chilling role as DuPont's mother. And what I liked about this film is it didn't answer all those questions. It left you guessing, left it up for discussion, and that to me is always the sign of a great film. One of the best of 2014 and did make my top 10. Foxcatcher, they're all coming out right now. They're all good films, and we'll lighten the mood a little bit now with Disney. And this is also an Oscar winner for Best Animated Feature. We're talking, of course, about Big Hero 6, and this is the story of a lovable robot that really captures the audience's heart from start to finish. Also action-packed, got a lot of comedy, but it's about Baymax, this lovable personal companion robot. He's a bit of a medic. He's a robot sort of designed to dispense medical treatment and advice to people. Forms a special bond with this young boy hero, but then a devastating turn of events catapults them into the midst of a dangerous plot that unfolds in the streets of San Francisco, which is, as you can see, a little bit of a merging of San Francisco and Tokyo into the future. And they have to team up with some friends. That leads them to the lovable Big Hero 6. Fun for the whole family, kind of comic book style action, great characters. I didn't find this one all as original as some of the other Disney films, but that being said, it's beautifully animated. It does have very funny moments. Baymax, incidentally, is voiced by Scott Adsit from 30 Rock, and he does a great job there, but it's stunning to watch, and all the kids are going to love it. Okay, we'll keep things going with a comedy spin right now. Horrible Bosses 2. The guys are all back, and joining the cast for the sequel, Chris Pine and Christoph Waltz. Now, Chris Pine actually ended up being very funny in this movie. I was very impressed with his comic timing. He really fit into the group very well. So fed up with answering to higher ups, the group decide to basically take things into their own hands, launch their own business, but a slick investor, played by Christoph Waltz, pulls the rug out from under them, so they're outplayed and desperate, no legal recourse. What do? They hatch a misguided plan to kidnap him, kidnap his son, played by Chris Pine, hold him for ransom. But it turns out Chris Pine actually in the end wants to kind of join up with them and take revenge on his father himself, so they team up, they join forces. The rest is history. This one's packed with way more inappropriate sexual gags than the first one, but the chemistry between Bateman, Day, and Sudeikis is palpable. So if you don't mind the colorful humor, as it were, you're going to enjoy Horrible Bosses 2. Not quite as good as the first time around, but still very funny stuff and wildly, wildly inappropriate. And we teased this up before. We've got one television show to tell you about, Outlander, based on the best-selling book, series of books I should mention. Yes, this is season 1, volume 1, and with the Blu-ray, you get a limited edition collector's feature that has a 32-page book with excerpts from the script, photographs, and a new introduction from the author. All new bonus features as well. Outlander is a crazy story about a World War II nurse, while on her second honeymoon with her husband, is inexplicably transported back to Scotland circa 1743 and forced to marry Jamie Fraser, a chivalrous Scottish warrior. She begins an extremely challenging life that places her in 2 completely different worlds with 2 completely different loves, praised by critics and fans for its high production value and authentic period detail. This really does capture the magic of the series, and it's also very romantic and erotic. So they've got all the things ticked off here. You've got the historic sort of period piece that has that authentic feel, also very romantic, full of great acting, great script. It will keep you guessing, and a lot of nice twists and turns there. One of the few cases where a series captures the essence of the book or the series that it's based on so well. Love Outlander. Get it right now. Season 1, Volume 1 on Blu-ray and DVD. Whoo! There you go, people. That's it for this week on Blu-ray and DVD. I'm Thor Dykow. Don't forget, you can catch me on Twitter at Thor Dykow. We'll see you next week on BreakfastTelevision.ca.